Magkasalat. Good afternoon. On behalf of KS Rangasamy College of Arts and Science Autonomous, Textile and Fashion Designing Department cordially welcomes you all for the International Level Faculty Development Program on Outcome, Regional Textiles of India in 2K23.
உடையார் முன் இல்லார் போல் ஏன் கற்றும் கற்றார் கடையரே கல்லாதவர். செல்வர்களின் முன்னே உதவி கேட்கும் எளியவர் பணிவோடு நிற்பது போல ஆசிரியரிடம் பணிந்து நின்று கற்றவரே சிறந்தவர், கல்லாதவரோ கடையர்.
With great joy and cheer, I am extremely happy to welcome all the participants from various colleges and institutions. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. I feel extremely glad to welcome Dr. R. Radhay, Senior Scientific Officer, Grade A, COE, Medical Textile, Citra, Coimbatore. She completed her PhD in microbiology at PSG College of Arts and Science. She is working as the Senior Scientific Officer at the South India Textile Research Association, Citra, Coimbatore. Also, she worked as an assistant professor at the Department of Microbiology, PSG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. And also, she worked for 2 years as a junior project fellow in the DRDO LSRV project entitled Development of Hygienic Fabric Using Nano-Encapsulated Natural Antimicrobial Finish for Defense Application. Welcome you, ma'am. I request Dr. R. Radhay for her presentation session. Please, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. Shall I share the slides now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. We can able to see this slide, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of Citra, I'm Dr. Radhay, Senior Scientific Officer from the Department of COE Medical Textiles, is now here to present a paper on the role of Citra in promoting medical textiles in India. Citra, it is an acronym for the South India Textile Research Association. It is established in the year 1956. And it is governed by Council of Administration consisting of member representatives from industry, government, and scientists. Citra is sponsored by industry and is supported by the Ministry of Textiles, Government of India. It has been designated as a Center of Excellence in Medical Textiles by the Office of Textile Commissioner, Minister of Textiles under Mini Mission 1 of Technology Mission of Technical Textiles in the year 2008. Since its inception, Citra has been making efforts to create awareness about the scope and opportunities in medical textiles through the seminars, conferences, exhibition, training, detailed project report, etc. So far, Citra has assisted more than 100 entrepreneurs to venture into different segments of medical textiles. However, after the launch of Technology Mission of Technical Textile in the year 2011, the focus has been oriented towards promotion of indigenous manufacturing of technical textiles based products by the Ministry of Textiles. The objectives of this Citra is this center of excellence. Not only Citra, there are so many other center of excellences which are designated by the Ministry of Textiles. For medical textiles, it is only Citra. Likewise, we have another one center for geotextiles and for sports textiles. Likewise, each and every field of technical textiles, there is a center of excellence which is designated by the Ministry of Textiles. So for this center, we have 10 objectives. Like we have to train persons towards medical textiles. Not only the entrepreneurs, but also the students, and also those entrepreneurs who are under conventional textiles and who wish to come into medical textiles. Also, we give the training and prototype development of the products, pilot scale production of the products. We have incubation services wherein many entrepreneurs are registering as an incubator for sanitary napkins, face masks, surgical gown, drape, and cotton wool roll production. For all that, many entrepreneurs are budding entrepreneurs are registering as an incubator and they are starting their entrepreneurship journey from Citra. We have involved in the standard formulation of BIS Around 77 medical textile standards were formulated by Citra under TXD 36 committee of BIS. And coming to the testing and evaluation, the of all the medical textile products. So far, 77 medical textile products testing and evaluation has been the parameters for each and every analyzing each and every products were designated, and it is now done at Citra. And we have information resources, like we have a library wherein all the journals for medical textiles are being displayed, and also the standards regarding the medical textiles also we can fetch it from the Citra library. Not only that, in order to physically see the medical textile products, we have a product display center over here where we can physically touch and feel the medical textile products. And apart from that, we are always actively involved in the research and development of new types of innovative medical textile products. We also offer technical consultancy and detailed project report. So coming to the medical textiles, wherein we are the center of excellence. So what we have to know first, what is medical?
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, your slide is not changing, ma'am. It is got stuck on the first slide itself.
Okay. Now is it changing?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. Medical textile. We have to know what is medical textiles. Medical textiles, it refers to a specially designed textile used in various medical applications, including health, hygiene, implantable, non-implantable, and extracorporeal devices, which are the 5 different segments of medical textiles. And as the healthcare needs evolve and technology advances, the demand for innovative medical textile is likely to continue to rise, making it an essential segment in the ever-expanding world of textiles. And in the medical textiles, these classifications are basically done on the basis of for the patients, on the patients, in the patients, and near the patients. Healthcare and hygiene is developed for the patients, like all the textiles which are used in the hospitals, and the hygiene, which involves our sanitary napkins, diapers, wipes, incontinence pads, all are for the patients. And on the patients is non-implantable, which includes our wound dressings, gauzes, and bandages, stockings, etc. In the patients, which comes under implantable, which includes our hernia mesh, vascular grafts, anterior cruciate ligaments, etc. And near the patients is extracorporeal. So extracorporeal is, it will not be on the patients and also in the patient, but it will be assisting, like for the dialysis unit, we need a filter dialysis membrane. So through that dialysis membrane only the cleaning of the blood will happen. So that is an extracorporeal device. So in general, first we will start with the health sector. So in health sector, the most importance of the textiles in healthcare sector is that to minimize the load of bacteria, fungi, virus on the hospital environment. So it has to minimize on the person, on the device. So if bacteria or an aerosol which sits on a device, easily it will get transmitted in hospitals, which is the main cause of the hospital acquired infections, which we call as nosocomial infection. We have to believe that worldwide, most important death occurs the 10th level of the most important number of deaths occurs because of the hospital acquired infections, which we call as nosocomial infections. So our fabric, it has to protect both the patient and also the doctor and also the other healthcare practitioners also from the transmission of the disease. So in such case, what are all the products which comes under healthcare are surgical gown, surgical drapes, gloves, head cap, shoe cover, gloves, face mask, face shield, coveralls. All these products comes under the healthcare medical textiles. So here we'll see where are all these medical textiles, healthcare textiles worn inside an operation theater. So surgical gown, it is a personal protective garment. It is to be worn by the healthcare professional during the surgical procedures. It is to protect the patient and the healthcare personnel. How it will protect the healthcare personnel and the patient is that if there is any infection, if the doctor is dealing with any infectious disease patient, through the patient, it should not reach the doctor. And also from the doctor, any infection, if he has any skin related infection or if he has any wound. So those bacteria and viruses which are present on his skin surface should not get transmitted to the patient, because in such case what will happen is that the scenario in which we tell as operation success and patient dead, that should not happen. After the operation, the post-surgical implications should be avoided. So in order to prevent all those, in order to protect the patient of the body. And coverall, it is the garment which is loosely fitted protective clothing. It is worn by workers in hazardous working environment. It is available as a one-piece garment with full sleeves and long legs, and we are very acquainted to this type of coveralls during the COVID-19 pandemic. And coming to the face mask, which is of the next predominant healthcare textile. So face mask, it is we have so many different types of face masks. In hospital setting, we will have only surgical face mask and N95 in the hospital environment. So under healthcare sector, we will have the most important is the surgical face mask. So surgical face mask is this type of face mask which will prevent the doctor from getting infected. So these are the different types of face mask available. And coming for the essential properties which are required for the face mask, like what we have seen for the gowns and drapes, it should not, for the gowns and drapes, it should not allow the penetration of bacteria, virus to pass through it from the doctor to patient and doctor to the patient and patient to the doctor. Likewise, for the face mask also, we have certain essential properties which are to be tested. If you are testing for a very minimal type of face mask like class 1 face mask, we have to check for the breathability of the mask and also the bacterial filtration efficiency. It should allow the the breathable efficiency of the wearer has to be maintained. The differential pressure of the breath outside and inside has to be maintained by the mask. It should not control the breath because oxygen requirement is also very important, and bacterial filtration efficiency. So it has to filter bacteria coming through it. These are the two important aspects for the class 1, very minimal type of mask, class 1 type of mask. It should at least possess bacterial filtration efficiency and breathability. Coming to the next type of mask, it should at least possess all the other different parameters like particulate filtration efficiency and splash resistance. So coming inside the hospital environment, splash resistance, that is when a blood is splashed on the persons who are wearing the face mask, blood should not penetrate the face mask and reach the wearer. That is the main idea why these tests are the essential properties which are designed for the face mask. And next is the surgical cap. So surgical cap, it can support the infection control protocols by not allowing the particles or the microorganism from the doctors to the patient. It is a protective cap which is worn by the medical personnel. Likewise, shoe covers, everybody know about it. So shoe covers also, it is used by the healthcare workers. So the contamination from the healthcare workers should not be transmitted inside the operation theaters is the main idea behind this properties of shoe covers testing also. And next, coming to the hygiene textile. The first is healthcare is completed, and next is the hygiene textile. So in the hygiene textile, we have adult diapers, incontinence pads, sanitary napkins, baby diapers, and wipes. So this is the fastest growing segment of medical textiles in India, and most of the products which comes under this are disposable. The recent research are with finding out the reusable hygiene textile products and also biodegradable sap, which is a very big problem worldwide. Coming to the non-implantable medical devices. So non-implantable medical textiles are bandages, compression stockings, and wound dressings. These are kept on the surface of the skin, and each and every product has its own importance. Wound dressing, there are so many research which is being done on the wound dressings. We will discuss that. Coming to the bandages, it is a piece of material which is used to support the medical device, like a dressing with a gauze. During that time and all, the bandages are worn in order to provide the support to the body. And this is made up of woven or knitted cloth or elastic material. So types of bandages, we have compression bandage, cloth compression bandage, cohesive bandage, and pressure bandage. And next is the stockings. So compression stockings, we have the highest pressure at the foot and the lowest pressure at the knee. So it gives a graduated compression. So when a graduated compression is given, the patients with the problems like varicose vein and lymphedema, they need these types of stockings. Prior to this, it will be given by a crepe bandage, and after that only, when the compression is started, we will go for the compression stockings, wherein a graduated level of pressure is given from highest pressure at the foot and lowest pressure at the knee. And then coming for the wound dressings, this is the very fast developing, another one fast developing area of the medical textiles, implantable medical textiles. There are many players in India who work with wound dressings, and there are very numerous innovative products which are coming with the wound dressings. Even now, many research on smart medical textiles using wound dressings, like maintaining the pH environment, maintaining the moisture, finding the load of microorganisms, for which and all smart devices are impregnated inside the medical wound dressings, so that when a person wears this, when a person is given this wound dressing, all this will be monitored in real-time basis. So there are so many different types of wound dressings like hydrocolloid dressing, hydrogel dressing, foam dressing, silver dressings, and alginate dressings. Next, coming to the implantable medical devices. So, implantable medical devices, what does the word implantable mean? Implantable means either it is introduced into a person, it is partially or totally introduced inside a person. It has to be done through surgical procedures into the human body, and it will remain inside the human body after the procedure is being completed also. So there are three major divisions of the implantable devices. One is to replace a missing biological structure, to support a biological structure, or to enhance the existing biological structure. Like if the tendons in the joints are torn, in that case, we'll go for the artificial cruciate ligaments. Here, what is happened? We are supporting a damaged biological structure. If a biological structure has to be replaced, in the joints or in the heart walls and all, the replace of the biological structure is also done if it is damaged. And enhancing the existing biological structure, what we see in the hernia mesh. So the characteristics of implantable medical textiles are, it is used inside the body for effective repair of the body. For the wound closure, we have sutures, and for the replacement, example is vascular graft and artificial ligaments, as we have already discussed. So what are all the major characteristics that has to be possessed by these implantable devices? Of all the different types of medical devices, like we have seen healthcare, hygiene, implantable, non-implantable, and extracorporeal. Among all these five, the most critical medical textile is the implantable medical. Of course, all the other different segments of medical textiles are important, but the most critical is the implantable medical devices. So these implantable medical textiles, why are these considered as most critical, is that these medical textiles are implanted inside the body using some surgical procedures. If there are any malfunction of these medical textiles, please imagine it is with the life of one person. So the most important or the crucial test which has to be done is the biocompatibility and stability of the implantable medical textiles. So why it should be any medical textiles, not necessarily implantable, any medical textiles, why it should be biocompatible? Because you are introducing this medical textiles into a patient. If you are introducing into a patient, after that, if it is producing any allergic response, if it causes some irritation, if it causes some sensitization, if it causes some cancer, or if it causes some mutation, please imagine the condition of the patient who has taken this implantable medical devices. So before any implantable medical textiles are taken into the market, they have to go through all very strict, rigorous conditions which are laid by the CDSCO. They have to pass all those. Only after that, implantable medical textiles can reach the market. And this is why implantable medical textile entrepreneurs are very less in our country. And there is huge opportunity for the budding entrepreneurs to explore the area of implantable medical textiles. It is not rather difficult, but it is more crucial. So it will have the players in implantable medical textile in India is very less. The amount of financial input which you have to give will be maximized, or it will be taken to multiplied into 10 or 20 times if you are investing in implantable medical devices. Next, coming for the type of implantable medical devices. vascular grafts. There are so many implantable medical devices available, of which the implantable medical textiles are vascular graft, which are used in the heart, anterior cruciate ligaments. This is the vascular graft used in the heart. This is the anterior cruciate ligament, which is used to repair the tendons. And we know the hernia mesh, which will cover the intestine. So this type of hernia, if it is covered by the hernia mesh properly, here it is covered. If it is covered, then the protrusion of the intestine will not be there. And the sutures, as we all know, there are two different types of sutures: absorbable sutures and non-absorbable sutures, and which has a very good market in India. And also there are so many entrepreneurs in sutures in India also. Then rotator cuff repair devices, heart walls and heart patch, all these are implantable medical textiles. Coming to the extracorporeal devices. So what is extracorporeal devices? Devices that are used externally. It is not implanted into the body, but it is very much related to the body. This is a dialyzer. Here what happens? The blood of the patient flows into the dialyzer, and the clarified blood will be taken, and it will be taken into the patient. So from the patient, blood will be taken, and into the patient it will be given. So this is a continuous process which deals with the inner blood and the oxygen of the patient, but it is not implanted inside the body. Such devices comes under extracorporeal devices. The most and it involves the filter materials, the dialysis materials or the filter materials, which is used to purify the blood in lungs, liver, kidney and spleen. So we are very popular with the dialysis. And also this is the artificial heart lung machine. When any surgery is done with the heart, during that time we need oxygenated blood inside the body. We cannot start the heart as such, and we cannot take up the surgery. We need one extra device which will function the functions of the heart during the surgery in the heart. So that is the heart lung machine, which contains an oxygenator that contains the filter membranes, which are medical textiles, which are the extracorporeal medical textiles, which is the most crucial part of the heart lung machine. So that is why I have told you, for these devices, we have to, the most important is the biological characterization, because in our body we have 10 power 13 of cells and 10 power 14 of bacteria. So the number of bacteria inside a human body is always above the number of cells. Most of the bacteria which is inside the human body are the beneficial bacteria only, but when any problem is there, like if the patient is immune compromised, if the patient undergoes any continuous surgery, in that case he should not be affected by any bacteria, because his immunity will not be there. So we have to go for the testing and evaluation of medical textile products, which are very important. So in Citra, the most important role of Citra is to evaluate a medical textile product, wherein we have physical testing, analytical testing, microbiology, biotechnology and polymer testing. So here all these laboratories are accredited with ISO 17025, which we call it as NABL accreditation. So the range of products that can be tested are given in this slide, which are the healthcare, hygiene, carded products, non-adhesive woven, adhesive woven, extensible non-adhesive, extensible adhesive and other non-woven products. All these products can be tested at Citra. We have 77 number of medical textile products which you can see under BIS website also. I will give you the link for that also. So in the BIS website, we will have the list of products which are standardized in medical textiles, which comes under the TXD 36 category. So coming to the COE physics lab testing facilities, we have facility for testing sportwear, apparel comfort, technical textiles, and non-woven testing. So some examples of the testing machineries are given in the photograph. But apart from that, we have the testing facility for all these tests. So anybody interested in designing a new product, or if they want to start an industry, they can easily go with the government startup programs, wherein we will get financial support from the government if you are an incubatee. So you can incubate as an incubatee at Citra Medical Textiles, and you can develop your products. You can test your products in Citra itself, get it certified, and you can enter the market. In analytical lab facilities, we have all the chromatographic techniques and spectroscopic techniques, wherein if any persons are involved in research and development also, if they are doing their PhD or any master's project or any new projects which is funded by the government or NTTM. So in any case, for the characterization of your developed products, you can approach Citra. At the polymer lab, we have consultancy services also for electrospinning, micro nano encapsulation, and freeze dryer, pH, and surface active substances, identification of your fibers. And if you are developing a wound pad, what is the content of the chemicals in the wound pad? All that is available here. In the microbiology laboratory, we have testing of antimicrobial activity of the textile substances. If you have a coated medical textile, we can test for that. Before you are going for the coating, you have so many different types of extracts available with you. You have 10 different types of treatments which has to be done on a product, and you have to see which treatment is most effective. In that case, before going for treating on your fabric with the material which you have identified or you have prepared, with that you can test for the antimicrobial activity of the substance and its minimal inhibitory concentration. Most of the times what people does is that they will coat it with coating, and they will bring for antimicrobial activity before checking for minimal inhibitory concentration. Minimal inhibitory concentration is the most important criteria which has to be decided before coating of any coating on a medical textile product. So that has to be tested, and that is also tested at Citra. And antimicrobial activity as per the national and international standards. Then we also test for the personal protective garments and for other food and water products also. And at biotechnology laboratory, they test for anti-cancer testing. If you are going for designing any products for anti-cancer activity, or if you are designing any medical textile product, you have to check for cytotoxicity. What is cytotoxicity? Is that a medical textile product, it should not cause allergy, it should not cause irritation to the skin cells. So the skin cells, how is it viable after exposure to the medical textile, will be tested in cytotoxicity. So the skin cells will be grown and your samples will be exposed onto it. Next day they will see how many cells are living and how many cells are dead. If 70% of the cells are living, then the product can be taken for next level. If not, the concentration of the coating has to be reduced in order to allow the skin cells to grow, because we would have seen usage of any during usage of any wipes or sanitary napkins, we would have got some rashes, we would have got some irritation. These are all because of the toxic effects of the products that you are using on your skin. That should not happen. So that has to be tested by cytotoxicity, and now it is mandated under BIS that each and every product which are made in medical textile, which are marketed in India, has to go for cytotoxicity testing. And also here in biotechnology, we test the wound healing activity of the products. This is the incubation facility. As I've told you, we have a sanitary napkin making machine. It is fully automated, and we have a face mask machine which is automated, semi-automated, and we have a cotton wool roll machine. If you have a very big cotton wool roll you have procured and you have to make it into small 50 grams packet, that can be done here. You can prepare this wipes, alcohol wipes and swabs here, and this the feeding material will be the polyester viscose 50%, and plastic pouches will be given inside, so that it is the swab making will be done, and it will be put inside the plastic pouches, and all that is automated. And we have a coating and lamination machine. If you have any treatment that has to be done on your fabric, and it has to be done on a continuous basis, you need some equipment. You cannot do it with the padding mangle as such. So in that cases, you can go for this coating and lamination machine. So in that case, we can go for this coating and lamination machine for all woven and non-woven fabrics, and for all kinds of water-based coatings. And then is the ultrasonic spot welding and sewing machine. So this ultrasonic spot welding and sewing machine is for welding the thermoplastic fabric, like your surgical gown, drape, face mask. All that can be ultrasonically sealed with the ultrasonic machine. And then we have spunlace fabric manufacturing unit also. As I've told, BIS standards, there are 77 standards formulated by Citra, and it is available in the BIS portal also. You can check for the TXD 36 sectional committee standards, wherein if you are manufacturing, if you are doing any research on any medical textiles, then you can search for its standard first of all, because people are designing many medical textiles, but without any proper standardization. So when you are looking for any research on medical textile, first please download the standard. If you are not able to, then approach Citra, come to the library, and you can take that standard. That will not be a problem. So you have to take that standard. You have to check what are all the parameters that you have to adhere when you are going for a research on a medical textile product, and then start with the raw materials, and then the process in which it can be done. All that are secondary. First, please you look for the BIS standard of the product. And next, we wanted also to show you what are all the research and development of Citra in medical textiles. So we have developed hernia mesh, collagen coated hernia mesh. So what is the importance of collagen coated hernia mesh above the normal hernia mesh is that collagen coated hernia mesh will not give any infections, like it is antimicrobial, and also not only antimicrobial, it is completely biocompatible. Since it is coated with type 1 collagen, when it is given inside the body, it is completely biocompatible. Then we have also fabricated the bifurcated vascular graft. This is for improving the blood flow in the for the heart, and bidirectional barbed sutures. So the normal sutures, the problem is with the knot failure. But for the barred sutures, these are knotless sutures, and it will have very good anchoring capacity also, so that it will the problems occurring with the suturing will be avoided. And we have designed rotator cuff repair devices, vascular graft for the heart, and Citra research on wound dressings. So in wound dressings, we have developed so many different types of wound dressings, like spunlace non-woven wound care dressing, chitosan coated cotton gauze, PVA chitosan nanomembrane, herbal drug incorporated PCL nanomembrane, embroidery based dressings, self-assembled peptide hydrogel based dressings, transdermal patches, and honey and curcumin based fibrous wound dressing. All that is developed by Citra. So what is the importance of each product is that for the infectious wound dressings, non-infectious wound dressings, and for exudating wound dressings, and for chronic wound dressings, each and every type of wound dressings, we have specialized wound care products. So when we are taking up research on wound dressings, we have to identify which type of wound are we focused, and then we have to develop dressings accordingly. Transdermal patches, it is a cardiovascular drug therapy. This patch will be kept over the skin, and it will be pasted on the skin, and then the drug will be present inside these places where the drugs will be placed. And when this patch is in contact with the body, slow and sustained release of the drug inside the body will happen. And we have developed electrospun fibrous wound dressings also. Coming to the orthopedic products, we have developed a compression bandage, 3D spacer compression bandage. This bandage is usually given for the lymphedema patients. You would have known about the elephantiasis lymphedema patients, and also the patients with the varicose vein. So for such patients, what we will do is that in the hospital, they will first give a crib bandage, and after that, they will go with the graduated compression stockings. But here with this 3D spacer compression bandage, there will be uniform pressure distribution. There will be no pressure marking, so that pressure marking associated necrosis also will not happen. This will replace all your crepe bandage and anti-embolic stocking and graduated stockings, and it will have 40% more efficacy than those fabrics. Then is the orthopedic shoe insole. So this orthopedic shoe insole is given for the diabetic patients, because in the diabetic patients, they will have risk of foot ulcers. Why do they get foot ulcers? Because there will be no uniform pressure distribution in the foot. So in order to protect that, we have developed a shoe insole which will have give an uniform distribution of pressure in the foot. In medical filters, we have developed leukodepletion blood filter and HME filter. So these filters, HME filter is a heat and moisture exchange filter, and leukodepletion filter is to filter the leukocytes from the other blood components. For these are all nanotechnology developed products, and these are all used in the operation theaters. And the materials used in operation theater is the nano finished surgical gown. So this will be this can be very much compared to the conventional surgical gown, because conventional surgical gown will not have breathability, it will not have antimicrobial activity. All that is given in the nano finished surgical gown. And then is the mopping pad. So mopping pad, usually the laparotomy sponge or the mopping pad used in the surgery, it will have only the cotton gauze material. The cotton gauze material will be the 10 or 15 layers of the gauze materials will be rolled, and it will be present as the laparotomy sponge in the hospitals. But this Citra developed mopping pad or laparotomy sponge, this will have non-woven and woven structures intertwined together, like the inner layer and outer layer, so that the absorbance with the non-woven layer, and after absorbance the non-woven layer will be loosened. That will be protected by the woven layer, which will have a synergistic performance, so that this laparotomy sponge will find a numerous application, and then it is also X-ray detectable laparotomy sponge. And next is a hospital bed linen with improved thermal properties for increasing the comfortness of the immobile patients. For those patients who are hospitalized for so many days, they will get the bed sores because of the heat that is produced. That will be managed if you have produced a bed linen with improved thermal properties. Next is the breathable viral barrier fabric. So the potential application of this fabric is found during the pandemic season, when the coveralls, which were initially India does not have any coverall which can resist the penetration of virus, after which we have procured the coveralls from the barrier films from the international companies, and then only we have imported that, and only we have developed the coveralls. But this Citra developed barrier film, it will resist the viral penetration, and this helps in the indigenous development of barrier films in India. And the Citra developed instruments for personal protective equipment testing are synthetic blood penetration tester, spray impact penetration tester, particulate filtration efficiency, splash resistance for the personal protective equipments. So in personal protective equipments, we have to check the resistance of the equipments to the flash of blood. So if blood is splashed on the doctor or the patient, it should not penetrate. So in order to prevent that, these tests are being done. Synthetic blood penetration tester it is for the gown, drape, coverall. Spray impact is also for that. And for particulate filtration efficiency and splash resistance, it is for the face mask. Likewise, we have dry bacterial and wet bacterial for the gowns, drapes, coveralls. So as I've told, in a hospital setting, from the doctor to patient and patient to doctor, the transmission of infection should not happen, which will be prevented by this dry and wet. We know that the skin scales will be worn out from our skin regularly. So these dried skin scales will have some bacteria present on it. If it is falling, if because of any vibration during the operation from the doctor, if the skin scales are falling on the open wound of the patient, what will happen? The patient is already immunocompromised. If he gets the disease, then the life of the patient will be under critical. So in order to prevent all those post-surgical implications, dry bacterial and wet bacterial testing is done to prevent bacteria penetration in dry form and wet form through the body fluids of the patient and doctor. Next is the bacterial filtration efficiency. This is for the face mask. And for checking the compression stockings, the pressure management, as I've told you, for the disease with lymphedema and also varicose vein, we will have this compressed problems, which is rectified with the compression stockings. This is the compression bandage pressure management system, which is studied for development of this compression bandage. And we have the wound care products quality evaluation also, like what is the saturation? If the saturation is if the saturation of the wound dressing is attained, like if a 2 ml of blood is given or body fluid is given, the wound dressing can resist. But how long it can resist? If 2 ml is coming regularly, will it resist for 2 days? Will it resist for 4 days? That can be identified by this fluid handling capacity tester. Then we have an information resource center. As I have told you already, there is a library wherein all the books and the journals and the standards regarding medical textiles are there, which is freely accessible, and you can use this facility when you are going for any research on medical textiles. We have an product display center wherein physically you can view the medical textile product. How will it look like before going for a research on it? And apart from this, as it is an objective of the setting up of COE medical textile, training is mandatory. Giving training to entrepreneurs, giving training for the conventional textile entrepreneurs to take up medical textiles. For the students, for the research scholars, we are offering training programs and workshops. Hope you have listened to the entire session wherein the role of Citra in medical textiles is being elaborated. May I know if there is any discussion regarding it?
It's time for question session. If you have any queries, you can ask now.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, may I know what are the latest inventions in medical textile, ma'am?
So, coming for the latest inventions in medical textiles, in each, as I've told you, in each and every category of medical textiles, we have numerous inventions taking up. And coming to the healthcare textiles. So, in healthcare, what is the new avenue which is opened is the biodegradable medical textile, because all the medical textiles which we are using now are based on the polymers which are not degradable. So those polymers which are degradable are to be identified as the most important innovation in medical textile. Apart from that, the avenue in smart medical textile is now greatly opened, and there are very few persons who are working on it. And if you are able to bring up a very good smart medical textile, then it would be useful to the society. We will have real-time monitoring of the patients. Like the patient can be in his home. He can no need to admit the patient in the hospital. You can give that medical textile, wrap it on him, and you can send it home. And real-time monitoring of the patient by the doctor when the patient is at home also can be done. So there are so many different innovations which are going on in medical textiles, like with the moisture wicking healthcare medical textile, and biodegradable SAP. As of now, we don't have any SAP which is biodegradable. All the sanitary napkins which are used are thrown into it is not biodegradable, and the avenue on biodegradable SAP is now fastly increasing. Likewise, for the implantable and extracorporeal devices, we have very few runners in India, so we can bring the import substitutes for which government is funding. Hope I have answered your question. Any other question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Any other queries?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you're audible.
Ma'am, நீங்க டைப்பர்ஸ் சொன்னீங்கல்ல மேம், அதுல எத்தனை லேயர்ஸ் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்றோம் மேம்? என்னென்ன லேயருங்க மேம்?
உங்களுக்கு டாப் லேயர்ல உங்களுக்கு உங்களுக்கு வந்து அவுட்டர் லேயர் இருக்கும், அப்புறம் அவுட்டர் லேயர் ஒரு இன்னர் லேயர் இருக்கும். ஸோ உங்களுக்கு வந்து அப்சார்பன்ட் கோர் வந்துட்டு உங்களுக்கு இன்னர்ல தான் இருக்கும். மேலே இருக்கிறது வந்து கீழே இருக்கிறதும் ஹைட்ரோஃபோபிக்கா இருக்கணும். ஸோ ஹைட்ரோஃபோபிக்கா இருந்தால் தான் உங்களுக்கு கீழே இருக்கிறதுல இருந்து வாட்டர் ஃப்ளோ இருக்காது. ஸோ இந்த டிஃப்ரெண்ட் லேயர்ஸ்ல எல்லாமே நம்மளுக்கு நிறைய இன்னோவேஷன்ஸ் நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு. பயோடிகிரேடபிள் சாப் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. அண்ட் டாப் லேயர்ல வந்துட்டு அப்சார்பபிள் லேயர் வித் சம் கோட்டிங்ஸ், ஆன்டிமைக்ரோபியல் கோட்டிங்ஸ் இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அதுலேயும் நான் டிகிரேடபிள் நம்மளுக்கு வந்து கம்மியாக தான் இருக்குங்க.
தேங்க்யூ மேம்.
தேங்க்யூ.
Any other questions?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, may I know what type of fabric material is used in bandages, ma'am?
Crepe bandaging, yeah?
Yes, ma'am, grip bandages.
Crepe bandages. Okay. Actually, I am a biological person. Give us a mail regarding this. I will let you know exactly, because I should not give you some vague answers. Give us a mail regarding this. We will give a reply for it. Some elastic material will be used, but we will give you an exact reply when you give us a mail. Any other queries?
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Now the question session ends. If you have any feedback, participants can convey it in the chat box.
உங்களுக்கு வெயிட் பண்ணிட்டு
Sorry.
Participants, if you have any feedback, you can entitle in the chat box.
எனக்காக ஃபாலோ இந்த ஹெல்பிங் டெண்டன்சி யாருக்கும் வராது தெரியுமா? சீரியஸா சொல்றேன், உண்மையிலே சொல்றேன். உங்களை வந்து எல்லாம் கிடையாது. ஜஸ்ட்
Thank you for your informative session, ma'am. Once again, thank you for spending your precious time and knowledge to us. An announcement. By tomorrow, in the Faculty Development Program, we tend to have session by Mrs. K. Shalini Sasi, Extension Service Officer, Regional Extension Center, Koyarbo, Tanjavur, on the topic of Save Nature, Go Goyar. I request everyone to participate in the upcoming session of Faculty Development Program. Thank you all for the active participation.
The session is winded up now. Thank you all for the participation.